YouTube, welcome back to another classic video. Today we've got Madden 21's franchise featuring the Dublin Shamrocks, who you all love. This is an important game though, because we're 7-7-1 because yeah, we tied that one time. But our issue is that if we win this game, we are still not guaranteed to get into the postseason. We need a couple of teams to lose. It's got to be a little bit of a domino effect, but fingers crossed. Win, take care of business, and just hope that we can get in. Also, I just want to point out that right now we're picking around number 16. We have a first, a second, a third, no fourth, no fifth, but a sixth and seventh round pick. I think regardless of what happens, whether we make a run of the postseason or we don't make a run at all, I'm still going to try to make a trade to maybe move up and take a quarterback. We'll see how Cook does in a game that could decide our future, but Justin Leeds, Rashawn Dorsett, both of those guys are looking like they could be our QB potentially for the future. So we're back home today. We are in Dublin, Ireland, trying to get things going. A win is important. Win, maybe we're in, but it's raining, as you can imagine. There's rain everywhere. Oh, Cook, hold on to the ball. It is that Lindley defense, do your job, which honestly they've been doing a really good job of recently, but this is an important game. We need the W more than ever. And one of the big things for me is that honestly, we're just trying to make sure that I'm showing last season wasn't a fluke. We did really well last year to get in the postseason and ultimately make some noise, but my fear is that if we don't get in the postseason this year, they might think that I'm a fluke. And bro, look how dark and gloomy it is right now in Ireland. This is nuts. This is the darkest I've ever seen the gameplay. I guess it's kind of wild. Hoping we get some sort of sun popping out here. Ooh, nice route there by the tight end. Try to risk it a little bit, go off our coverage, go for the blitz, and I can say it didn't work. So here we are, trying to stop them. Freeman's going up the middle, though, completely untouched until he gets down to the 5-yard line. I'm willing to say this is not exactly what you're hoping to do when you're trying to stop a team from scoring on their opening drive. Pressure did not work. The Rams are going to score, and, well, we're down early pretty quickly. All right, so we're coming out here on a first down, ready to get things going a little bit. Read option was looking pretty smooth, but they actually had a second guy on the left-hand side, but we still got 5. Cole Cook is looking for his 30th touchdown pass of the season so far. Look, I'd be here and happy if he had that, but it's no picks today, Cole. That's my only ask. Why do I even say anything, huh? Why do I say anything? Okay. First pass of the day is a pick. You hate to see it.
Oh no.
I mean, hello, defense? Higbee again? What are we doing out here? Listen, I get it. Down 14, still the first quarter. Had like 30 yards of total offense right now. It's not a big deal with that. Lily goes out here and bursts off 19 yards in his first carry, okay? I mean, seriously, chill. It sucks. This is not good, but I believe in our team, other than Cole Cook. We're drafting somebody different. Even if he has a good game, we have to at least go for somebody in the late rounds and play quarterback, I think. Like, there's a lot of really talented quarterbacks in this year's draft, which, thank God, is a blessing. Help! Finding ourselves at a pretty bad third down, 7 yards. Around midway. See what we can do here. Help me! This definitely feels like one of those games where it's just like, do your best, you know? Defense, get some points for us. His offense may not be able to get any right now. They are not respecting the passing game at all. Thad Lindley now broke up a couple of runs. They are keen on him pretty quickly, but you're struggling everywhere. I mean, keep in mind, Thad Lindley's come around a little bit too. Like, he had a monster game in his last performance. We need him to get back to doing that ASAP, and we got to stop giving up passes like that. That being said, we have run a little bit of man today, or a lot of man today. We'll see what happens when we actually run a little bit of zone. Typically, zone has not worked out for our team very well, but we're willing to give it a shot. Just like that, pick up another chunk. Office having a heck of a game too. He's 8 for 8. He's got 2 touchdown passes. Can't be mad at those numbers at all if you're a Rams fan. Trying to get some pressure on him, and he finds another guy. This time, Cup's going to stay in bounds. I thought he was going to go for an early exit, but he keeps it moving. I mean, this is bad. This is one of the worst efforts we put out on both sides of the ball, possibly ever in the history of the Shamrocks. Off again, just wheeling, dealing, hits Higbee yet again. Higbee has been everywhere today. We're struggling to stop him right now. He's the main guy that's gotten in the end zone not once but twice today. Got a guy in motion on 2nd and 5. We go for the run. We're not ready for it whatsoever. Tried blitzing. We tried not blitzing. We tried zone. We tried man. It has been a tough one today. That blitz is there, but unfortunately the pick for Trey Sanders is not. I mean, honestly, we need Trey Sanders to jump that route. He's got to be there. He's got to get that pick, or at least knock it out. Punch it out if you got to, young fella. It's just, everything hurts right now. 20-0, soon to be 21. You're in trouble. It's still early, so it's disappointing we're down this much, but we can still find a way to come back, possibly. I'll take that. Deontay Arnold out here in the clear. He's going to get himself 10 yards. That's good moves. Coach was seen in the sidelines, just chewing out the entire defense, saying, look, whatever you're doing is not working. We got to switch things up. Call it scheme, call it bad plays, call it whatever. It's not a good look on defense at all. The running game, though, is looking really good. Probably the best thing we have going for us right now. First down again. Bad only trying to get to the edge, but no blocking can be held right now. Lewis gets an easy tackle. Tackles in the backfield are always not good, but when it's a 4-yard loss, it hurts a little bit different. See what we got here. McLaurin coming late across. Arnold going deep on this. Going for Arnold. We've got him. Young fella's a burner. All of a sudden, Jones is trying to get up to him, but he's not going to catch him. Deontay Arnold. Don't forget about him. Deep on that route. Turns up the field. We got ourselves a ball game. Possibly. We'll see. And our defense did something which they haven't done, honestly, in a long time, which is get a stop. We got the ball back here. Again, down 14. Still early at Thad Lindley. Young fella's running wild. Gotta love that. His offense really goes the way that Thad Lindley goes. If we can get him involved early and make him productive, we are so much better off than when we're trying to force things down the throat of the defense. Got 2nd and 9. Arnold again trying to get his 100th career catch on his next grab. We won't get it here, so we got Trey Quinn is going to stretch for the first down, and he picks up about 13. 2-minute warning's coming up. We got a single high safety as they put an extra guy in the box. Lindley can get past this initial pressure. It might be good for him. He turns to the field. I like that a lot, and Lindley gets down to the 49-yard line. What a play. Take us to the 2-minute warning. Remember, our season remains in the balance right now. We are on the brink of going home early. We don't want that just yet. This team is too talented to let a rough start both in this game and earlier in the season really thwart us overall. And don't forget that we didn't have Thad Lindley for the early games, and he was hurt for a while. So now that he's back, I feel like we're a completely different ball game. Ball team, but Lewis is still out here getting sacks. Yeah, I'm gonna be honest, that was an aggressive dance. We gotta get him up out of here. Here we are, 3rd and 15. It's not gonna be easy. We're gonna put McLaurin here to slay a route. We got a couple guys doing that. Armour going out deep to the right-hand side. It's gonna be tough. Gonna flow one. A step away from having Latimer pull it in. First half is nearly over right now, thank God. Got a 14-point deficit. The Rams are almost a field goal range. They've got no timeouts left trying to get into the end zone. Go for the check down play. They're going to take a little bit too much time. I don't know if they can actually get a field goal off here. They're going to hurry up. The no huddle runoff is 11 seconds, so they're not going to get any more points. Thankfully, we're going to go into halftime with a 14-point deficit. It's not ideal. It's not great. We have been terrible on both sides of the ball, but the defense has started to play a little bit better, at least. So the good news is we at least get the ball here at the start of the second half to try to make amends for how horrible we played in the beginning. Get it off to Thad Lindley. Thad Lindley's going to try to make some room here, but can't really get too much as he only picks up 1. 2nd and 9. Again, Lindley. Halfback screen. That feels like an incredible play to happen. And Lindley's going to break a tackle on that perfectly, getting the 10 yards we needed. I don't want to say that we're going to just use Lindley until the wheels fall off, but that's what we're essentially going to be doing right now. The man is the only thing positive going for us right now. And at least we don't have a chance of an interception when he has it. That being said, the Rams are being pretty heavy putting guys in the box, so we've got to switch things up a little bit. Try a little bit something different. 2nd and 9. Dicey, but it falls incomplete. This is a big 3rd down. 3rd and 9. I want to start the second half with points. Even a field goal would be great here. God bless America. No effort really there for McLaurin. The Rams are going to pick that one off. They're running back. Oh, Cook looking lost. And Johnson has his team right where he wants them to be, in scoring territory almost already. Things are dicey. We need some defensive plays, and I feel bad for our defense, man. Like, they're trying. We're giving them too many yards on offense and allowing them to get good field position. Gain of 11 there for LA. Again, slants have been our biggest weakness right now. Man and zone, we've been giving them up nonstop. We're crossing around here. Hickney's going to pick up what looks to be 9 or 10. We're seeing our holes get exposed. As good as we thought our team was and talented as they are, the writing seems to be on the wall right now. We are not as good as we thought. Got a little too cocky. That being said, we do not want to give up on this team just yet. We still have an opportunity possibly to make something happen. Go for the running game. Not really been able to stop him much. He's spinning everywhere, and finally we get a stop after 3. Proud of the line again on 2nd and 7. Off sees a little bit of something, makes an adjustment. Go for the delayed handoff. Freeman, though, goes nowhere as we stop him after 1. This is what we wanted to see. 3rd down, 8 yards. We're going to let our guys stay in coverage and a little bit of zone to see if we can get some pressure on Jared Goff, which we've not been able to do. I don't think we've hit him once today, not even a knockdown. It's a guy in motion. Blown coverage time after time. Another touchdown for the Rams, and we're looking pretty sad on the sidelines instead. We're staring at about a 21-point deficit, and we've had a pretty abysmal passing game outside of one really good play by Deontay Arnold. Times are looking a little tough. Speaking of Arnold, we're going to find him here. Arnold's going to make his way down for a 1st down. And to make matters worse, our starting, I believe, left tackle ended up getting hurt, so Russell Okung is back in now. We got to pray that the old fella who we're not re-signing in the offseason can do something for us. It's like Trey Quinn's out here moving. Trey Quinn's going to pick up a whole lot of yards and smartly gets out of bounds. Might be a late hit. I'm hoping on them. We rarely see that get called, but okay. We'll take this penalty right here. This is going to be good. Unnecessary roughness on them. We're now inside the red zone. We found out that Towns ultimately has an elbow sprain, so he should, in theory, be back into this game pretty soon, if not right now. Lindley up the middle, picks up some, but again, not a lot. 4 yards in that run. We're back to Lindley here in the halfback screen. Only looking for his blockers. He's got him. And ladies and gentlemen, Thad Lindley. One of the few bright spots in this team in today's game. In the end zone, we're celebrating. We have so much work to be done so far. Okay? There's some potential now. Down 14. The Rams didn't do anything on offense. They went 3 and out. We got the ball immediately right back to try to put some noise on the board. Get Thad Lindley again. I need that breakaway speed. Where is it? Part of me just can't help but think that despite how well he's playing, he's still not 100% like we would have seen him had he not got injured earlier in the year. But still, that's enough for a 1st down to keep the chains moving. But here again with Cole Cook and shotgun. Make the easy play here. Arnold's going to try to break a guy's ankles. He does a fairly good job and picks up 8. And again, as controversial as Cole Cook is, he now has 4,000 passing yards and over 30 touchdowns on the season. Turnovers are what kill us, though. This is great movement right here. Thad Lindley again somehow can't get the speed. Where is it at? We're looking for it. That should have been possibly 20, 30 yards, maybe even more. You never know, but we had the blocking. Just didn't have the speed there. Lindley goes through the middle and he picks up now 11 more yards. We're in the final game of the regular season. We're down 14, 8 minutes left. We have an opportunity here. It's just going to be a tough one. Put McLaurin on a deep route. If you can beat press coverage. Lindley, though, wide open down the middle. Lindley's going to make a couple guys miss. And Thad Lindley, again, the only bright spot we have today. The muscle hamster is back. 2nd receiving touchdown of the day. He's the only reason we're in this game right now. Cole Cook, that was an accurate pass. And Thad Lindley did the rest. 6 minutes left in this game right now. The Rams are driving. They're inside the 25. Trying to get some pressure. We are struggling again. Sony Michel picks up what looks to be about 3. Holding them to a field goal here, though, is still a W in my opinion. We're actually going to drop Chase Young back in pass coverage to see if we can help out because he hasn't really done much in terms of, tackling people behind the line of scrimmage. This is a major, major 3rd down right now. Lock them up here. We need to get a stop.
Stop it.
Time.
Get some help.
After time after time. Slant route kills us. You hate to see it. We had the Rams where we wanted them. We even have more yards than they do total today. We just can't stop them. This has been one of our toughest games of the year by far. Cole Cook and company. A lot of work out here in front of him. Cole Cook's got a bit of a cannon. He's got O.J. Howard out here, and that one's going to be batted away. Brings up 2nd down and 10. Cole Cook, the only guy in the backfield right now. O.J. Howard had it and then dropped it. Got to argue that we're pretty much in 4-down territory. So a play this worked for us pretty much nonstop today has been a halfback screen, outside of one really weird occurrence. There's unfortunately going to be a holding penalty on that play. Thad Lindley's going to do his best to carry this team, but that play is coming back pretty significantly. And there you see the penalty, holding on the offense on Connor Williams, who was injured for a little bit. Now he's back making bad plays. Again, still in 4-down territory. We're going to have 3rd down and 20 yards to go. Don't know how I feel about it. Trey Quinn! I'm here for it. You need a big-time player to step up. Trey Quinn has not been there a lot this season, but that was a heck of a play. Keeping us alive here, 1st and 10. That is about as inaccurate as you can throw it. Jared Goff was on the sidelines, dapping up his teammates. He feels pretty good about this, and honestly, I don't blame him. With Cole Cook throwing it like he is right now, this is not a lot to be happy about for Dublin. And Lindley, though, keeping this team alive, breaks a big tackle there, and now we're down to the 36. This team does not want to use their timeout, so they want to make sure they keep things going. Try to score as quickly as possible. Jay Howard. What happened there? Our big thing, though, is we had to score quickly and not give up any first downs once we allow them to get the ball back. Because we don't want to go for an onside kick at this stage. There's still plenty of time left. And Lindley sees a great block. It's out of bounds smartly, and the clock is going to stop. Clock management is one of the biggest things. Thank God we're not Mike McCarthy at this stage. 1st and 10. Got a guy. We're going to test it. McLaurin.
No! God!
It's knocked away at the last second. That is beyond heartbreaking. I thought we had the touchdown that we needed, and McLaurin's gas. I don't blame him. We've had him on a lot of streak routes recently. Bronco Barnett. Fella, you were so close. Nice try. Call me crazy. We're running a halfback screen again. Literally, it's the only thing that's worked for us so far. Our guys are dropping a lot. It's raining out there. Got to put the ball in a playmaker's hands. At that, Lindley's going to get us about 2 yards shy. This is big now. 4th and 3. We got to go for it. No field goals here. It's got to be a touchdown or bust.
Hey, what happened?
Cole Cook had him. There was no pressure, and he just completely overthrew a wide open guy for a touchdown. So after an incredibly horrible start for the season, we end the season on an equally bad note. We didn't get the W, and it looks like our playoff hopes, barring some miracle, are out the drain. So to recap the stats today, Cole Cook was 15 of 28, 250 plus yards, 3 touchdowns with the 2 interceptions, and the missed throws, it definitely hurt us. Jared Goff, though, for once, had an incredible game. On the ground, though, Thad Lindley was the only thing that really kept us moving. 16 carries, 108 yards, but his impact was really in the receiving game today. And in the receiving game, he had 8 grabs for 96 yards and 2 touchdowns. 92 receiving yards after the catch. That's just incredible. Higbee killed us all afternoon, 8 grabs for 103 and 2 touchdowns. Arnold had a monster touchdown for us early, but some drops that ultimately cost us on crucial 3rd downs. On defense, Glenn Wall showed that I think, again, he can be the middle linebacker of the future. 9 total tackles for him. Norwood had 8 grabs. Mostly, or 8 tackles, mostly because he was just giving up passes on slants all day, left and right. Foster had 7, Sanders had 5. But again, look at this. With our defensive line, we only had 1 sack today. Got a single interception as well. We should be getting way more pressure with Jonathan Allen, Montez Sweat, and Chase Young. They're not getting to the quarterback, and that's not acceptable. So before we wrap it up, let's look at what our players ultimately did this year. Cole Cook, 4,100 yards passing, 32 touchdowns, 15 interceptions. The turnovers just feel like they were way too much for me, though. That being said, he did have some great moments, but again, a 62% completion rate is not going to get the job done. We've got to figure out whether he is the QB of the future, or if we like a guy in the draft, and maybe he's going to be a little bit better for us. But ultimately, Cole Cook, this is not an acceptable season. Thad Lindley had a remarkable year. He only played in 13 games this season and ran for 916 yards, 7 touchdowns, only had 1 fumble. I will take those stats in that short of time played. If we can get the offensive line a little bit more shored up and healthy, I think Thad Lindley will ball out next year. In the air, McLaurin failed to get 1,000 yards this season. I feel pretty bad for him. It's just, again, the offensive production from the quarterback spot has just been way too inconsistent for him. McLaurin, though, again, 966 yards, 4 touchdowns. O.J. Howard, 832 and 6 touchdowns. Gallup ended up actually having a torn labrum, which is why you didn't see him in that game. I forgot to let you guys know that. Trey Quinn, almost 500 yards and 3 touchdowns. Arnold, 404. Lindley, 386 and 4. Bryce Love got in there. Bronco Barnett, 11 grabs, 118 yards and 2 touchdowns. I think as we see him get more involved in the offense, he's going to be a really big part. It's just he's not really able to play, honestly, that much. And a big thing for Bronco also, we found out he's a superstar depth trait, so something exciting to look into. I want his blocking to get better, but still, he is a vertical threat, he's a pass threat, and he can be a major part of this team if we can get him the ball. On defense, Reuben Foster, again, another remarkable year. 129 tackles for him. You gotta love that. 12 being for a loss, 6.5 sacks, 2 interceptions. To me, this is a defensive player of the year type year. Reuben Foster absolutely deserves that. Glenn Walls, though, came on as a player that, again, we found randomly, and we got him, and now look how good he is. 108 tackles, 8 for loss, 6 sacks. He was pretty much even keel with Reuben Foster despite not getting as much playing time. Fuller did well. Trey Sanders had another monster year, getting 3 interceptions. Again, the only 3 of his career came this year. Christian Norwood beat in coverage a lot, but he did manage to get 2 interceptions. John Davis chimed in well from our strong safety spot. David Moreau will be back next year. Chase Young, let's talk about him. 3.5 sacks in a pretty much healthy season is just not acceptable. If you look at our sack leaders here, there's a lot to be desired. 6.5 by Reuben Foster and Montez Sweat, as well as Deron Payne. And Walls had 6, but Chase Young. I need this guy to get double-digit production. If he can't, maybe he's not the guy for us. Fortunately, at 7 and 8, our playoff hopes are out the drain. We have like a 1% chance to make the playoffs. So we'll find out in the next episode if we ultimately do or if it's on to the off season. But still, played well in parts of the season. The middle of it was incredible, but the last 2 weeks losing in 16 and 17, something that we have to look at and figure out how we can do better. We'll try to draft well. We'll actually do the draft this time, and we're looking for free agency to fill a couple of gaps, maybe some veterans that can help us out. But ultimately, defense has got to be more accountable. And offense, the mistakes, the turnovers, it killed us all season long.